There comes a point, beyond the giant planets, beyond the rings of Saturn, beyond the storms of Jupiter, where the solar system begins to change. The sunlight grows faint, temperatures plunge, and the familiar worlds of childhood astronomy give way to something stranger, a frozen frontier, a place filled with ancient objects left over from the birth of the sun itself. Most people know about the 8 planets. Some know about Pluto, but few realize that beyond Neptune, there are entire populations of hidden worlds, dwarf planets, binary systems, objects with rings, mountains of ice, comets sleeping in the darkness, and perhaps even planets we have not yet found. Tonight we are leaving the familiar solar system behind. We are traveling to its edge, and visiting every strange frontier, one by one. Our journey begins, 30 times farther from the Sun than Earth. Here, Neptune completes a single orbit every 165 years. The sunlight is so weak that noon resembles a dim twilight, and beyond it lies the Kuiper Belt. Imagine the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Now make it vastly larger, much wider, much colder, and filled not with rocky debris, but with worlds made of ice. This is the Kuiper Belt, a gigantic ring of ancient objects, stretching billions of kilometers into the darkness. For billions of years, these frozen worlds have remained largely unchanged. They are time capsules, preserved remnants from the earliest days of the solar system, and among them, one name stands above all others: Pluto. For 76 years, Pluto was the 9th planet. Then in 2006, its status changed. The world argued, children protested, headlines mourned. But Pluto itself did not change at all. It remained what it had always been, a remarkable world. Its surface is covered with nitrogen ice, towering mountains of frozen water, glaciers, thin hazy skies, and one enormous heart-shaped plain, known as Sputnik Planitia. For decades, Pluto was only a blurry point of light. Then, in July of 2015, the New Horizons spacecraft finally arrived, and the distant world suddenly became real. A place, beautiful, complex, alive with geology. A tiny frozen world, still changing after billions of years. But Pluto is not alone. Orbiting it is Charon, its largest moon. So large that Pluto and Charon almost resemble a double planet. They orbit a common point in space, locked together forever. If you stood on Pluto, Charon would hang motionless in the sky, never rising, never setting. 2 worlds, forever facing one another. Yet Pluto is only the beginning. Farther out, we encounter Eris, a world slightly smaller than Pluto, but more massive. It was the discovery of Eris that forced astronomers to ask a difficult question. If Pluto is a planet, then what is Eris? And if Eris is also a planet, how many more planets might exist? 10, 20, hundreds. The debate eventually led to Pluto's reclassification. In a strange way, Eris changed the solar system, without ever intending to. Then comes Makemake, a reddish world, named after a creator deity from Easter Island. Its surface is coated with methane ice. Temperatures here fall below -230 degrees Celsius. Sunlight takes more than 5 hours to reach it. A sunrise here would feel almost symbolic, a distant reminder that a sun still exists at all. Next is Haumea, perhaps one of the strangest objects in the entire solar system. Haumea spins so rapidly that it has been stretched into an elongated shape. It no longer resembles a sphere. Instead, it looks almost like a cosmic football. Even stranger, it possesses rings. For years, scientists believed rings belonged only to giant planets. Yet here, around a small distant world, a ring quietly circles in the darkness. Then there is Quaoar, a world so distant that its year lasts almost 3 centuries. Recently, astronomers discovered something astonishing. Quaoar also possesses a ring, but the ring should not exist. According to our understanding of gravity, it lies too far away. The particles should have formed a moon long ago, yet somehow the ring remains. A reminder that even now the outer solar system still surprises us, but eventually the Kuiper belt begins to thin. The objects become fewer, the distance is greater, and we enter an even stranger region, the scattered disk. Here, objects do not follow neat circular paths. Their orbits are stretched, distorted, and immense. Many were likely thrown here long ago by the gravity of Neptune. These are the solar system's wanderers, and among them, one object stands apart: Sedna. Sedna is extraordinary. At its closest, it remains farther away than Pluto. At its most distant, it travels to nearly 1,000 astronomical units from the Sun. One orbit takes more than 11,000 years. The last time Sedna was near its current position, human civilization did not exist. The pyramids had not been built. Agriculture had not yet begun. Its orbit is so strange that some astronomers suspect something massive may have disturbed it. Perhaps a passing star, perhaps conditions from the Sun's birth cluster, or perhaps something else. Something still hidden. This brings us to one of astronomy's most fascinating possibilities: Planet 9. For years, astronomers have noticed unusual alignments among several distant objects. Their orbits appear oddly clustered. One possible explanation is the gravity of an unseen planet, a world perhaps 5 to 10 times the mass of Earth, far beyond Neptune, taking thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of years to orbit the Sun. No one has seen it. It may not exist. But if it does, then somewhere in the darkness, an entire planet remains undiscovered. Waiting. Farther still, the Sun becomes merely another bright star. The frontier grows increasingly lonely, and here, new horizons encountered another ancient world, Arrokoth. Before the spacecraft arrived, it was nicknamed Ultima Thule. When the images finally appeared, scientists were astonished. Arrokoth looked like two objects gently pressed together, like a cosmic snowman. It had remained almost completely untouched for more than 4 billion years, a preserved relic from the birth of the solar system itself. No mountains, no dramatic impacts, just an ancient frozen survivor, drifting in silence. And then, there are visitors, objects that do not belong here at all. In 2017, astronomers discovered something unprecedented, an object entering the solar system from interstellar space. Its name was Oumuamua. It came from another star, the first known interstellar visitor ever observed. It was strange, unusually elongated, accelerating in unexpected ways, unlike anything we had seen before. Its origin remains uncertain, its nature debated, but one thing is clear. For the first time in history, humanity had witnessed an object from another solar system, a messenger from the stars. Soon after came another, Comet Borisov, proof that interstellar visitors are not unique. They are simply difficult to detect. At any given moment, objects from distant stars may be passing silently through our neighborhood, most unseen, most unnoticed. Then, beyond all of this, lies something even greater: the Oort Cloud. No spacecraft has ever visited it. No telescope has ever directly observed it. Yet astronomers are almost certain it exists. A gigantic spherical shell of icy objects, surrounding the solar system in every direction. The Oort Cloud may contain trillions of frozen bodies, comets, ancient debris, fragments left over from the formation of the planets. Its inner regions begin thousands of astronomical units away. Its outer edge may extend nearly a light-year from the Sun, perhaps farther. The distances here become almost meaningless. Light itself takes months to travel across these regions. The Sun, from here, would no longer dominate the sky. It would merely appear as an exceptionally bright star, and every so often, a passing star, a galactic tide, or the gravity of the Milky Way itself, may disturb one of these icy worlds, sending it inward, beginning a journey lasting millions of years. Eventually, some become the comets we see in our skies, brief visitors, carrying material older than Earth itself. In this sense, the Oort cloud is more than a boundary. It is a memory, a frozen archive, preserving the earliest history of our solar system. But where does the solar system truly end? At Neptune? At the Kuiper Belt? At the Oort cloud? At the point where the sun's gravity finally loses its hold? Or perhaps, at the edge of the sun's influence itself, the heliosphere, a gigantic bubble carved into interstellar space by the solar wind. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 have already crossed this boundary. They are traveling through interstellar space, yet they remain gravitationally bound to the sun. The answer depends entirely on what we mean by end, because boundaries in space are rarely simple. They fade, they blur, they transition gradually into something else. And perhaps that is fitting, because our solar system is not an isolated island. It is one small neighborhood. Within the Milky Way itself is only one galaxy among hundreds of billions. Tonight, as you stand beneath the stars, remember this: far beyond Pluto, far beyond the distant dwarf planets, far beyond the frozen comets, the sun still reaches into the darkness. Its gravity extends almost unimaginably far, and somewhere at that distant frontier, a tiny icy world may be slowly orbiting, completing a single year, longer than the entire history of human civilization. And if you could stand there, at the edge of our solar system, and look back, the sun would no longer fill the sky. It would appear only as a brilliant star, a single point of light among countless others, tiny, distant, fragile. And around that tiny point of light, everything we have ever known would still exist. Every ocean, every city, every person, every memory, all orbiting a distant star at the edge of an immense and ancient darkness.